What's up guys, Mickey Motions here, and this is a Formula 1 2011 commentary. And in this commentary I'm going to be talking about the Grand Prix this weekend, and that's in China. And that's obviously why I'm racing in China with this HRT. And there is a reason why I'm driving with Kartikeyan's car, but I'll explain that a bit later on in the video. Look at me pass everyone, it's just too easy here. I mean, I've talked about this in most of my videos. It's just so easy to overtake from the back. You can just brake late, just go around the outside and you're already in 10th place. That's definitely something Codemasters needs to improve for Formula 1 2012, but that's another commentary. So first of all, I want to talk about the rumours that have been going around and a bit of news from between the last race and this Chinese Grand Prix which is coming up. So the first news is that FIA are reassessing Mercedes' wing system, and that is after Lotus and Red Bull objecting the rear wing system. And it's not just them, there's another 3 teams, but for some reason it doesn't talk about that on the BBC article. But anyway, its system is a DRS rear wing overtaking device to affect the front wing, which boosts the car's straight line speed. Now when the DRS flap opens, it reveals the holes inside of the rear wing end plate, and then it connects to the channels inside the car to the underside of the front wing, which sucks the air from the rear wing, and that reduces the front wing's effectiveness. Now this system makes the car gain around half a second in qualifying, which is a lot. And even though it complies with the rules, and they even had the all clear from FIA, the team still believe that it's illegal. And they're using an article from the technical regulations to back this up. And it says that any car system, device or procedure which uses driver involvement as means of altering the aerodynamic characteristics of the car is prohibited. However, the exception to this rule is the DRS, and this is the reason why Mercedes and the FIA said it was legal. So in my opinion, even though I am a Mercedes fan, well, just because of Michael Schumacher, it is a bit biased of me saying this, but Mercedes should be alright. They shouldn't have any problems because they haven't done anything wrong. They've stayed within the rules, so there should be no problems. But you guys tell me your opinions in the comments. Now the second news is that Lewis Hamilton says McLaren needs to improve their race pace, and this was after a disappointing finish for Lewis Hamilton and Jenson Button. Not so much for Hamilton, but he wants to win races, you can tell. So in the last race, Hamilton finished 3rd and Button finished 14th. For Button, it was really bad. He crashed into the back of Kartikeyan, and he just couldn't pick up from there when he went to the pits. He just lost loads of time, tried to catch up with the rest, but he just couldn't. So Hamilton said that the problem is that they need downforce. They need more downforce. They said they're very quick in a straight line, but it just doesn't seem to be working for them. But for now, they're somehow still in 2nd and 3rd in the Drivers' World Championship. Hamilton in 2nd and Button in 3rd. So they're alright because they've got 5 points between each other, and 5 and 10 points from the leader, which is Fernando Alonso, surprisingly, even though they had the slower car out of the top teams. So talking about Ferrari, Pat Fry says that even though Fernando Alonso is doing pretty well right now, they still lack pace. They're actually 1 second behind the top runners. They seem to be slower than McLaren, Mercedes and Red Bull. Pat Fry also said that the cars seem to be much better in wet conditions, and Fernando Alonso had a very good start, which is the reason why it made up for a lot of things. And he said that the car was difficult to drive, but Fernando still managed to make the most out of the car to get 1st place. He also stated that there's going to be 5 updates for China. Some are going to be quite visible and others aren't going to be so much. And they said there will also be a bigger upgrade package for Spain. So hopefully for Ferrari they're going to be much more closer than what they were in Malaysia and Australia. Now, still on the topic of Ferrari, there's a rumour that Sergio Perez could be going to Ferrari, but Sergio Perez has denied these rumours. He says that he will stay with Sauber for the whole season, but it just looks so likely that he will go there next year because he's actually part of Ferrari's driver academy. And that really shocked me. I had no idea. Nobody said anything about him being in Ferrari driver academy. Now obviously this speculation comes after Massa's unsuccessful races, and Perez coming second, of course, in the last race. Stefano, the team principal, said that they need to stay close with Ferrari at the moment, and that it's a bit difficult, so they need to find a way for him to become confident with the car. Now, in my opinion, I don't see that happening. After the accident with Barrichello, where he literally got knocked out by this object that just flew out of Barrichello's car. I don't know what it was, but it hit his head and he got knocked out. And I think it was a few years back in Hungary. And after that, I don't know, he's just lost his touch. Because before that, you know, he was really successful. I mean, I remember the year when Hamilton won the World Championship. He was so close to winning. He was pretty competitive. You know, Schumacher taught him a lot. And it's just a shame to see Massa really struggling for position in Ferrari. And if he's not in Ferrari, I really don't see him coming back to the top teams. So, finally, I can talk about Kartikeyan, which is the driver I'm driving with. So, Kartikeyan had a really difficult race. You know, he was crashed into by Jenson from behind because he locked his brakes, braked too late. And then there was the incident with Sebastian Vettel, where Vettel actually moved in front of Kartikeyan, which is how I see it. But that gave him a puncture, which damaged his car, so he ended up finishing in 11th place. And here's the interesting fact: he actually finished out of the points for the first time in 27 races. That's incredible. But anyway, Vettel made harsh comments about Kartikeyan, and he called him an idiot for causing the puncture. But in my opinion, and in David Coulthard's opinion as well, he didn't do anything wrong. Kartikeyan did nothing wrong. You know, Vettel just moved in front and it just touched, and that was it for Vettel. But Kartikeyan came fighting back and responded saying that Vettel was a crybaby and he was unprofessional. But he has since said that it was time for the two to put the incident behind him. And to be honest, I think idiot is the right word to call Sebastian Vettel, because he really is an idiot. He has no idea what it's like to be at the back in a really slow car, and you know, you're just minding your own business, and then someone just goes in front of you and then tries to blame you for causing a puncture which wasn't your fault. And it's like he thinks that just because he's one of the back markers that it's okay for him to just blame everything on him. It's just like saying, oh, Fernando was faster than me. Like, seriously, come on. But jokes aside, Sebastian Vettel still doesn't regret his comments. Even after a few days after saying these comments, he believes that he was right, and Kartikeyan should be ashamed of himself. So, that was it for the news and rumours. Give me your opinions in the comments below. But for this last lap, I want to talk about who I think will do well in the next race. I think Mercedes should do pretty well. Hopefully they can get a podium, because you know, they've got long straights here, and they've got one long straight which is has an incredible high speed. I also think if it rains in the Chinese Grand Prix, then I think Ferrari will do well. If not, then we will see Ferrari at the back of the top 10. I think we'll see maybe McLaren just jump in there somewhere. Either Jenson or Lewis Hamilton maybe gain podium. And I think we will see McLaren get pole again for certain. They just seem to be dominating qualifying, just like Red Bull were for the last 2 years. I think we'll also see Bruno Senna do really well. Bruno Senna is doing pretty well for Williams right now, and so is Grosjean as well, and Kimi Raikkonen. Kimi Raikkonen, you know, returning to Formula 1 from Rally and NASCAR. He's doing a pretty good job. I think we can see him sneak up there somewhere. The Iceman always has some surprising moves up his sleeves. But yeah, as we go into the long straight here, the longest straight of probably the longest straight in the whole calendar, to be honest. We're gonna see many overtakes here. I remember one of the Toro Rossos actually braking into the corner here at turn 14, and the front suspension just completely broke off. I don't know what happened. The two wheels just went flying. I'll put the link in the description if you want to see that. But anyway, this commentary is about to end, and I actually finished 6th place. Could you believe it? 6th place in expert mode. I think Codemasters really need to improve the AI in Formula 1 2012 when it comes up. Eventually, probably like September or November. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. I'll be doing more commentary soon. This was your boy Mickey Motions. See ya.